Welcome back to Inca Tech. Today we'll be doing a side-by-side camera review on the Nokia x100 and the Moto G Stylus 5G. Now both of these have 48 megapixel cameras, so let's see which of these two you prefer. Stay tuned. Alright, now that both devices are unboxed, let's get started. Starting with the Nokia x100, in the rear we have 48 megapixel wide camera, a 5 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 2 megapixel macro camera, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. Now for those wondering what the depth sensor does, it turns a 2D photo into as close as a 3D photo in order for us to see the difference in perception. Moving right along, the 5G Stylus from Motorola comes with a 48 megapixel wide camera, a 8 megapixel ultra wide camera, 5 megapixel macro camera, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. Now, comparing it to the Nokia x100, the Moto 5G does come with 3 more megapixels in regards to the ultra wide camera and the macro camera. So putting it to work, let's see what the two camera differences will provide to us. Alright, 24 hours later and we are back with a comparison of side-by-side photos between the Nokia and the Moto G Stylus. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the Nokia x100. This photo was taken in 1x in the 48 megapixel camera. Zooming in, we can see that the camera has really good resolution. However, as we move along to the left side where more light is supposed to be sensed by the depth sensor, we do see that there are some blur out lines. Really not a great resolution when it comes to the Nokia x100 at close-up shots, not using macro camera. However, when we move over to the Moto G Stylus, the comparison is day and night. We can see that the blurred out portion on the Nokia is actually a little bit better resolution on this camera. Now, probably because there wasn't too much light indoors, we're going to go ahead and ignore the fact that the Nokia x100 was having a little bit of issues with trying to capture enough light. So I went ahead and moved on outside and took the similar photo of this plant. Now, as you can see, the resolution on both of these appear to be pretty great. So let's go ahead and zoom in as much as possible and see which of these got the best resolution using the 48 megapixel camera. Now this is the Moto G Stylus. What I do like about this is that the new updated software for the camera is absolutely grabbing as much light as possible, giving it details to the photo itself. I'm very much astonished by how this camera could compare to the iPhone camera. Let's check out the Nokia x100. So you can see here, this photo is already saturated, while the Moto G actually gives you a normal feel to the photo. Close-ups on the Nokia x100 does appear to be a little bit better as well. But once again, we get to the part where the resolution in the background has been completely blurred out. To me, this means that the photo depth sensor camera is really not doing much as it would, which is okay because we do understand that this one comes with 3 more megapixels than the Nokia x100. Now moving on, the next photo required a little bit more precision in regards to getting close to the object. On the Moto G Stylus, as I got closer to the camera, you can still see that there are a lot of details provided. Even then, under the macro camera, I was able to get as much resolution as needed to display the proper photo that I wanted. On the Nokia x100, you can still see that it's very saturated with a lot of light getting absorbed but not doing much. Here, looks like a lot of light came in through those lenses and really not much resolution was created from it. Using the macro camera, sure, I got some great details, but once again, the light itself was not creating much of the photo quality that I was looking for. When both cameras were tested with portrait mode, the Nokia x100 was much more inferior than the Moto G Stylus. As you can see here, the X100 was able to get a better photo quality than the Moto G Stylus. This is a huge win for Nokia X100 in comparison to how blurry this photo came out with the Moto G. When testing the video camera, you can definitely see a huge difference. The Moto G Stylus gives it a huge win on the camera in this case, and that is because the 60 frames per second allows the video to be recorded in a much neater and stabilized way. Once again, the Moto G Stylus is on the right hand side and the Nokia X100 on the left. Now, putting the Nokia X100 versus the Moto G Stylus using the macro camera. Even though the Nokia X100 has 3 less megapixels than the Stylus itself, you could definitely see the resolution on the Nokia X100 being much better than the Stylus itself. We see a very crisp photo here based on the resolution and the light that the camera was able to receive versus the Stylus being blurry and dark. So I will leave it up to you guys at this point to decide which of these devices you would prefer. After doing a side-by-side comparison on both of these cameras, I could definitely agree that each of these devices have its own preference. Now, I do like the camera on the Moto G Stylus, and I do like the macro camera on the Nokia X100 for its detailed comparison. However, I'll leave you as the user to decide which of these two devices you would prefer, the Nokia X100 or the Moto G Stylus 5G. Until next time, thanks for watching. Inca Tech here, out.